Hello, friends. Welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be designing my faith planner for the month of December. We'll be setting up all my monthly and weekly pages in a Christmas theme, so come plan with me. And I got a couple of pens that are paint-based, ready to go, along with a couple of brush tip markers as well. I also have some washi tapes. These overlay ink tapes I got from Narrative Hues, some die-cut stickers in various shapes that I got from Journal Say, this Live Love Posh Winter Bloom sticker book, and these stickers that I bought on Etsy that I printed on my computer. Okay, guys, so this is the last month of the year, and it's also the holidays, and I just love to do holiday themes. So I was super excited to set this one up. I found these printable, I guess they weren't really stickers to begin with, but these printables on Etsy that had these super cute, like circular quotes about Jesus and the reason for the season, if you will. So I went ahead and printed those out on some label paper and am now cutting them out so that I can use them for the month. I printed them fairly large. You can adjust, I think, the sizing of them depending on your savviness with printables. So I went fairly large, I think at least 2 inches in size, and I thought that would be kind of the main feature in each of my clusters for the month. I'm also going to be pulling in some of these kind of muted but still seasonal florals that are from the Live Love Posh sticker book. I got this sticker book last year, I think on her Black Friday sale. A really good book. I used it quite a bit last year, so I am pulling it out again this year for some winter blooms. And thought that these stickers would go the distance for all of the spreads I'll be setting up today, and also had a nice kind of holiday feel, but maybe not overwhelmingly holiday, if you know what I mean. Just some subtle hints of holiday vibes. And right now I am working on the weekly setups. So if this is your first time watching, the way that I set this up usually is I will count the number of weeks that I have in the month and then just plan to set up that very first top left box on each of the weeks. And then I just do it here all on the wax paper all at once. So I can see how the weeks will all correlate with each other, but also make things a little bit different. It just makes things easier for the setup. I get all the weeks done all at once, and then I have more time to move on to the other spreads of the month. So right now I've got some floral elements along with one quote for each of the weeks. And now I am pulling in these stickers that I got from Journal Say. They're kind of a little bit grungy, but they have like a musical element to them. Half the pack is this like musical note or music sheet style sticker, which happened to be Christmas music. So I thought this would be perfect for this month. And then the other half of the pack has a little bit less of a holiday music vibe to it. So I'll only be using half the stickers. And because of that, I'm going to be cutting them down and trying to make them go the distance, because I think I may have only 4 or 5 of those in total to work with. So I'll be putting a little bit of that red music sheet sticker on each of the clusters, and now I'm working on putting in some washi tape. I tend to like to layer up the spreads quite a bit because I am doing the full month. And so having lots of elements makes the stickers go a little bit farther and makes the spreads more interesting. So I do like to use a variety of stickers, putting them all together, trying to see what I can create And then that way I can use those same elements on all the spreads. So if you watch my faith videos, you kind of can see a trend where I like to pull in a lot of different elements on these themes so that, again, I can go the distance and use them throughout all of the pages of the month. I'm pulling in now some, it's hard to describe what this is, but you can see it obviously. It came in a pack of die cuts with some like florals and then also 4 or 5 of these star clusters in a cloud type thing. Of course, I was thinking of the birth of Jesus and thought that this would be a nice way to kind of bring in a little bit of that nighttime sky element without being too overwhelming with it, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to bring that in. It's, again, limited, so I'll be cutting it up quite a bit, trying to just use elements in corners and things so that I can make these stickers go further, since I do have a number of spreads left to tackle. And I think we're at a place where I'm comfortable starting to move things over. I'll probably need to make some adjustments on some of these. The stickers have a lot of sharp edges, so whenever that happens, I usually have to do some hand placing before I move over a cluster or something like that, just so that everything lines up properly. And you can see that was the case here on the first one. I've got this "Joy to the World" quote. I'm just going to add in some washi tape wherever it fits on each of the weeks in that same like 3-layered cluster. Just again for repetition and to keep things looking interesting. I went ahead and covered up the "this week" on this one just because I didn't really have enough room to put in everything that I wanted without kind of encroaching up on that. So I went ahead and did that. And I also feel like I want to add just a little something extra to this corner, specifically in red, to repeat that red on the bottom. Found this sticker in there and I just dropped that in. I also like to use trimmings whenever I can, so you'll see me sometimes pull out anything that I cut off and try to reuse it somewhere or save it for later, because I, again, like to reuse things, and I think that a lot of times adding in those trimmings, specifically like with floral clusters or something like that, really helps it look more full and lush versus not using it if you're just using like a standalone sticker cluster. So you'll see that come into play on some of these when I do add in those extra trimmings. If you've never used PET tape stickers or PET stickers before, they are pretty awesome. That's what all of those die cut stickers are. They're PET. And it's just a really nice removable style of sticker that you can move around. It's very thin, but also too, a lot of times those stickers are printed almost with an opaque ink, and it makes it really great for layering. I wouldn't say that the ones that I am using this week though are that way, as far as being opaque. They definitely have more of a transparency feature, but I think that was on purpose for most of them. So yeah, it depends on the sticker obviously, but when you try them out, I feel like you might be a convert like me, because I really do like the styling of the stickers and just what you can do with them and how easy they are to maneuver as well. This one I decided to recreate it on the fly because I wanted to have the "Happy Birthday Jesus" cluster be on Christmas week. This one would have looked very similar to it, and I like to keep things random feeling as you go through the weeks. I decided to reset this up so that it wouldn't look so similar in layout to the previous week. And because of that, things got a little bit hairy there, as you can see with it being so high up there on the top. And I don't know, the layering was a little bit weird, but we got there, and I think it came out okay in the end. We're moving on to the monthly spread now that I've got all the weeks in, and I'm just laying down some wax paper once again. I have four quotes left over to use, and I really did not think ahead on this one, so I'm not sure how I'm going to fit these in, being giant 2-inch plus circles in this spread. I cut one in half to see if I can maybe maneuver it, so we'll see if that'll work. And yeah, we will see. I pulled in a floral cluster as well for the corner. Those last 4 days of the month are empty, so that'll be a really good place to add in some decor. And then I decided to try to cut up this Jesus is the reason quote instead of the born in a manger, because I think I can just get away with having one quote on here and make that go the distance. I also think I can cut it in a way that it works even though it's in a circular shape originally. So we are going to cut it up and make it fit. And I actually think it turned out pretty good as far as making it fit. It's still very readable and looks fairly good in that corner. I'm laying in some more of that music note sticker, and we'll pull in some florals here for the sidebar decor. A little bit of that night sky style sticker. And I'm just going to start pulling things in wherever I can see there's room. Also decided to shift down that floral so that I could use this upper corner for some more decor and keep things balanced out. And thought maybe I would just drop in a huge strip of layered washi up here. So we'll try that out. But I feel like I need something on the bottom, so I decided to cut it in half and just layer it on top and bottom for a little bit better balance. And laying in a little bit more of the florals on the edges. I believe one or two of those is at least a trimming from a previous sticker cut. So you can kind of see how adding in trimmings can really help make something look a little more full. Layer in maybe some other elements like this lantern with the floral as well. And another cluster here at the top. Keeping open the monthly area because I do use all of the days for tracking my takeaway from my daily Bible reading. I use that area just for a small snippet of application, if you will, to my life from whatever I read in the Bible that day. So that's how I've been using this monthly layout, and I keep it pretty open in the day areas so I have plenty of room to write in those applications. Also trying to, again, layer in more of that music. So it's spread around the pages and, again, repeats. It's always a good thing design-wise to have repeating elements, so that's what I will do there. Okay, so I'm starting to move things over. I've put in the washi tape strip here at the bottom, and I'll white out those boxes at the end of the month, so it's a nice empty space for the quote. Also drop in the sidebar and white out behind the lantern where it overlaps. Dropping in the quote now. I'll also clean up some of the excess that feeds into those later days in the month, just so I have the maximum amount of room to write in there. Do some trimming as well, just to clean up those edges. I decided that the washi tape should be layered in reverse on the top as opposed to the bottom. So I'm just going to reset it with the same washi, but just like I said, in reverse, so that it has the red washi on the edge versus what I had before. That's mainly because I had put it in originally all on the top, and so then I had to reverse it to make it look how I wanted. Just going to drop in the rest of these items here on the top. I'm not going to worry too much about that little bit going into the month. Lay in this sidebar. It's another one where there's straight edges, so I really have to like hand place some things in when there are straight cuts to make sure everything's aligned. And also trim off the excess. This is a great demonstration of how easy it is to move PET stickers. That background there was a little bit off, and it had already been set down, but it was super easy to lift up and reposition. I'll go ahead and clean out the holes as well while we're at it, just using my precision cutter and my little Daiso mat. Cleaning things up here. I think that's it for the monthly. We will move on to the last set of pages that we'll be designing in this theme. I have an extra wide piece of wax paper just for this spread of pages so that I can do all three at once and I don't have to figure it out or do it separately at the same time. So I've got my very back page on the far right, and then I have my first spread in my planner, which is my faith overview spread. This is a item that's found in my Etsy shop. I also carry all of the spreads that you saw here today, the quadrant layout weeklies, the monthly layout as well. But this faith overview spread is a really good one for faith-based planning if you just want to have a little moment each month where you can kind of check in spiritually, track some habits, and keep a prayer list for the month. So I am basically just repeating those same processes of adding in the quotes. I had 3 quotes left. We have 1 per page, which should work out just fine. And I also have some of those florals that I'm bringing in. Try to figure out the best way to include those for balance. I almost always do things in a triangle on this spread. So you can kind of see I have one in the top in the far left. I have one in the middle on the far right, and then one in the center on the bottom. And that creates a triangle relationship. That is the best way I found to actually design this spread, so you will see me use that same method on every faith planning setup for this faith overview spread in particular. But you can always mix it up and change things out. I just think that this helps balance the spread, keeps things functional as well, gives you plenty of space for decor, and is just usually the best route to go with whatever I'm designing in the theme. And on the back page, I'm basically just adding some decor near the top and the bottom. Still kind of doing that whole triangular thing, but that one's more top, center, bottom right, and bottom left. It's kind of more of a vertical triangle, if you will. Just try to use up all the things. So there's quite a few florals, and I'm literally just putting them wherever they fit. And trying to use them all. I think I used all but two small clusters that I'll save for some of these other stickers I have in here that could work with those clusters of florals and don't have such a holiday berry design to it. So they're a little bit more generic winter. But for the most part, I really try to use all the stickers when I can in a specific theme. So I don't just have a couple hanging out that don't go with anything, if you know what I mean. We're on to the washi tape now, just going to add some bits and pieces in and around the spreads. Again, triangular shaping for the back page, just the top and bottom, but just trying to bring in all those same elements. I'm really running low on the music note style of stickers. I think I only have like a little piece here and then another chunk, and that's it. So I was thinking about for the back, maybe bringing in one of those stickers that wasn't quite the same theme from the same pack though. We'll see. I didn't really like it. It looked a little bit different, so I think I'll just stick with having it on the overview spread only and just leave the back page without. And we're moving things over, guys, so let's go ahead and grab these last elements and put those in. I will probably reset this washi, just try to make it look clean, and get this guy so it's not hitting those stickers on the top. Trim out any excess. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do on the back page yet. I think I have something saved in my screenshots. If you guys have watched my common placing book, that's basically my sole method of finding things and then saving them for remembering later. So I'm pretty sure I have something saved as far as like some kind of challenge or a gratitude thing, or maybe a prayer challenge for the month and Advent even. So I have something. Something will happen, but I don't know what that is just yet. When I do, I will definitely explain it and share it with you guys, probably in the full flip through next year when it's all said and done. So I can't believe we're almost done with 2024, but each year I will normally do a full flip through of my entire completed planner, both in my faith, my health, and then also to my agenda. That's always a fun video if you just kind of want to see a bunch of inspo all at once. And I enjoy those videos as well. So be on the lookout for that in January. But for now, we are just setting it up in preparation for whatever I end up doing there. So I went ahead and dropped in pretty much all of the stickers and washi I had on the wax paper. And now I am cleaning out the holes. Just, again, it's almost a final touch. And then we will also do a little bit more to these spreads. I pulled some different pens to use as like an enhancement and decided that I was going to use just the gold pen for a little bit of extra something to each spread. Mainly because the black washi that I used has a gold speckle confetti to it with a gold foil. And I wanted to repeat that again on the spread so that there's a tie to that gold foil throughout. I also have a kind of softer green pen. I thought about bringing in another red like I did last month, but the red was so strong. I just really wanted to keep this one feeling a little more muted, so we're going to use the green and the gold this month. This gold pen I actually got from Dollar Tree recently, and it's great. It's very much like an acrylic pen would be. It sits on top of the paper, doesn't bleed through, and has a nice, inky feel to it, so it definitely lays down a lot of ink. We'll see how I use it, maybe if I'm going to use it in my lettering practice on the weeklies. Haven't quite decided yet, but It's a good pen. So if you're at Dollar Tree and you see one of those, pick one up. They're pretty cool. And I could totally see using those on like black paper, and maybe Christmas card making would be perfect for that. So that is it, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye!